Hello, this is Mandy with Scott Leroy Marketing, and today's class is going to be Docusign 101. So, just a little brief description up front and what we're going to cover in the class. Also, if you're here with me live, I just shared with you, but if you have any questions or comments, go ahead and drop them in the chat. I'll either get them answered in real time or stay a little late today after class and help get those answered for you. And then also, if you're watching this back on recording, you can always reach out to us at our email address, support@scottleroymarketing.com, and we'll be happy to help. So, DocuSign is a third-party platform that helps you edit your forms as a realtor and get those signatures from your clients and your contacts. Um, I will go over today not only how to do that, how to get access to your forms, how to edit them, how to get your signatures on them, but also the part of the transaction where you need to get a list of what your market center requires you to submit to them for compliance. I will also cover how to get your signed documents submitted back to your market center for approval for compliance. So we'll be covering all of that today. I'm going to go step by step with you. First, let's go ahead and log in to Command here that you can see on your screen. And there's a little bit of prep work you want to do before starting a transaction within your Command account. And that very first thing is going to be making sure that your DocuSign account is actually linked to your Command account. The DocuSign account that is compatible with Command does need to be a KW Rooms DocuSign account. It looks a little different than the free account. And so if you had a previous DocuSign or existing DocuSign account, chances are it's not going to work with Command. If you have any issues at all currently with compatibility between your Command and DocuSign account, you can always reach out to us here at Scott Leroy Marketing. We're happy to look at that for you. Okay. Up here in the top right hand corner, let me zoom in a little bit. Your name is right here on your Command dashboard. Let's go check to see if DocuSign is linked to Command properly. We'll click on your name at the top and choose Settings. This brings you to your Applications page. It's where like third-party platforms link to Command. And right here under Connected Apps, right away we see DocuSign and see that it is in connected status. This is what you want to see. If by chance you see a resend or authorize button right here, that means you may need to go ahead and complete the DocuSign invitation that was emailed over to your business email in order to complete the setup for your account. If you see anything else, just let us know and we can help look at that for you, okay? If we work with your market center, we can help walk you through that. So over here, now that we see it under connected apps, just one more thing. If you do not happen to see it up here, and you have to kind of scroll for it down here underneath other sections, that means it's more than likely not connected. You want to see it right here under connected, okay? Now that we know DocuSign is connected, let's go ahead and look at our contacts. I'm just going to click on the contacts tab right here briefly. If you're not super familiar with the icons in Command just yet, you can always click that red square at the top and it'll pop the names out for you. You can just click it again to hide them. So I'm just going to just briefly come to contacts right here. That's where you want to start. You want to make sure that your contacts are in Command so that you can go ahead and start transactions. It will help you in the long run to have these already saved right here within your Command database. Okay, so I just wanted to touch on that briefly. In the contact right here, you can always open your contact by clicking on it. And there's an opportunities tab right here within the contact. If you're ever looking for transactions that you've previously had with that person or currently have, you can always click on that tab and see the opportunities that you currently or previously worked on with them. You also have the option to create an opportunity from right here within the contact. Now I'm going to go the long way because I want you to know how to get there, even not being in an existing contact. But I just want you to see the option. If you're ever here working on your contacts, you can go ahead and start that transaction right here. Now, if what I'm saying about an opportunity sounds completely foreign to you and you haven't jumped into those yet, we do have another class called Opportunities and Sales Pipeline. That is an overview class of how to do your transactions, and definitely recommend jumping into those if you haven't yet. Okay. But opportunity is just another word for transaction. So now that I've touched briefly on contacts and having those set up with all the contact information ahead of time, just as a step of prep work, help you out in the long run kind of thing. Let's go over here to the opportunities tab, the two hands shaking, and I'm just going to show you how to get started with an opportunity and get to your Docusign platform from within the opportunity. This is a critical point. If it is your first time starting to work on this transaction, you absolutely want to start with an opportunity in command and then go to Docusign, and you need to access Docusign from within that opportunity. It's a critical link. It helps Command and Docusign talk back and forth to each other. And so that's why I just want to stress to you, you always want to start with an opportunity, and then I'll show you how to create that link to your Docusign and access it so that you can access your forms. Okay. So we want to come in Command to the Opportunities tab, and we can go ahead. I'm going to click on the personal agent. If you're on a team, you may see your team tab. Just going to click on our personal opportunities here and then click Create Opportunity. I'm not going to go through all the fields. Again, our opportunities overview class does show how to do all of the fields. I'm just going to create this pretty quickly to show you how to access Docusign from within the opportunity. So we're just going to choose, make sure you have the right market center showing. I'm going to use a listing opportunity for today. You can begin typing your client's name here, and it should bring up a contact that you already have within your contacts that you can choose from. Do know it gives you the option right here to add new contact if you do not have the contact already added. But again, saves you some steps. Auto populates that contact's information into your opportunity if you already have them created. So I'm just going to click on our little guy here. I'm going to name our opportunity so we know it's for today. All right. And then we'll go ahead and just create our opportunity. So once your opportunity is created, notice that you have a Documents tab right here, and this is where we'll ultimately end up to go ahead and access that Docusign account, the Docusign Room. Very briefly right here within the opportunity, I just want to show you that you have the option to link a listing right here if it is a listing opportunity. If you do this, it will help populate that property's address not only in your opportunity, but also in your forms once you get to Docusign. Right here on your details page, any of the information that you have entered here will help auto feed into your Docusign account so that it shows up on your Docusign forms. So anything you want to fill out on that details page will help you out in the long run. If you select right here to choose the listing, it will auto-populate the property details right here for you. So I'm going to go ahead and do that really quickly just to show you. Don't be alarmed when it says, sorry, no listings match. I'm going to show you how to sort these to be able to find the listing that you need. Looking by MLS number is usually the easiest. Since I'm going to look for a random property today, I'm going to leave it on street address. But right over here to the right, when it says only my listings, you can choose from all listings or all MC's listings. I'm going to choose a listing for this particular market center today. So I'm just going to choose that. And let me go ahead and choose an active. So I'll change it to for sale. And we're just going to go ahead and grab this very first one here. And you would select, and it links that property right here to your opportunity. And notice now our property details are filled in. Okay. All right. And so again, check out your details page first. And then let's go ahead and mosey over to the Documents tab right here. And this is where we'll spend a good bit of our time today in class. This is where you're going to find a compliance checklist from your market center so that you will know what you need to submit for them for your particular transaction. So right here on the left-hand side, we'll go ahead and choose a particular compliance checklist. You should see pick checklist type, and when you click that, you'll have multiple items that open up. Now, you may not see the same thing on your screen as you do in mine here. That is because it is created by your market center, so it's going to look a little different depending on which office you are with. We've seen some that come in and they only have residential to choose from, and it automatically chooses it for you, and you don't get the option to choose a checklist. That's okay. You would choose whichever one best describes this particular type of transaction. So we'll go ahead and just choose residential listing for today. Once you select that checklist, notice a few things changing on the screen. We got a green banner at the top that just let us know that was successful in choosing that checklist. Now on the left-hand side, notice we now have a listed folder, an under contract folder, and a closed folder. Over here to the right is actually a list of documents that your market center has for compliance. In the requirement field, right here in this column, it will let you know if it's a required form and lets you know the form's name with a place over here to the right to add that form. I'm going to show you this a little later in class because there's several ways to add the forms. There's even a way to pull them directly in from Docusign so you don't have to manually upload them. So we'll jump into that little guy in just a minute, or towards the end of class rather. But for right now, you get to see if they're a required form and the name and the status of whether you've uploaded them, whether it's approved, rejected, whatever the status is right here. I'm going to scroll down and show you because underneath required, there are some forms that are just conditional. And if you hover over that label, it will kind of give you a breakdown of what that means. And then also underneath conditional, way down here at the bottom, you may see some that are optional. Okay, I'm going to scroll back on up. You can sort these columns if you click on the names of them. We had happened to sort by requirement, but you can click on document name and it will sort them in alphabetical order just to help you out. Okay. All right. Now, this is not, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm going to retract that statement 1 second. So I've shown you how to find what forms are required, conditional, or optional for your market center for this type of transaction. Notice they'll change as you click on the folders on the left under listed. When we click on under contract, then it shows you those forms. And when you finally make it to closing and click the closed folder, you'll see the documents that are asked for that. Okay. So we'll start here in listed. Now that we know how to get an opportunity/transaction started, now we already covered how to find out what forms our market center needs for compliance. Now we need to know how to get to those actual forms, get them edited, and get them to our clients for signatures. That's right here under the Start a Transaction button. Okay. This is what I mean when I say make sure you're going into the opportunity first and then going to DocuSign from within the opportunity. This is how you get there. We'll go ahead and click Start a Transaction. For us, since we happen to have .loop and DocuSign both linked to command, you'll notice it gave us an option to choose which one we want to use. We'll go ahead and choose DocuSign for today. And it should open another tab just like this and take us into our DocuSign account. If it's been a while since you have signed in to your DocuSign account, it may ask you to use your login and password right there. Okay? For us, we've recently logged in and it took us right into DocuSign Rooms. And notice it auto-populated the information we had on that opportunity right here into our room for us. A DocuSign room is just a space. Think of it as a folder where you keep all the documents and information for that one transaction. Okay. Now that we're here within our DocuSign room, I'm going to give you just a little brief overview, okay, of the layout here, and then we're going to jump in how to look at and find our forms. Okay. I just want to show you right here, excuse me, at the top. For DocuSign, these are tabs that you can go into. Dashboard is going to be quick links, shows you the rooms that you most recently accessed, maybe the ones you have the most recent activity in. Rooms, I'm going to click rooms briefly just to show you. It shows you all your different rooms, aka transactions. Okay. You do have an inbox within your DocuSign. I'll jump into in just a little bit to show you how to use it because you can send forms there. And then your documents live over here. But this is just a general bank of documents. I'm going to show you how to get the actual documents into your room to work on them over here. You don't necessarily ever need to come over here to this one, okay? Once I jump back into our room that we had, just click it and it opens right up. These are the tabs within your room. You do have a details tab, just like your opportunity did, right? It's details concerning your transaction. The details that you had within your opportunity have fed in to your DocuSign room, and we can see those entered here in these different fields, showing that our information already populated. If you have any further details that you want to add in, you can add them here to your details tab, or go back to your opportunity, which is probably the best way to do it. Go to your details tab in your opportunity, edit them here. Little pencils are at the right-hand corner of each box. And once you've edited that information, let me come in here and I will change something. Let's click a pencil and we'll edit the estimated closing date. Probably not on a Saturday, right? Let's choose this Friday. And we'll click Save just so I can show you what it looks like. So now I updated the Details tab on my opportunity. Notice that instead of saying synced with DocuSign, it shows me the beige bubble that it was edited here within the opportunity, but it's not quite synced over to my DocuSign room just yet. If I scroll up to the top of my Details tab right here, you can sync to your DocuSign right here under Key Information. It lets you know there's one field ready to sync with DocuSign. That's the one we just changed. It'll also show you the date that it was last synced. So at any given time, you can come in and click Sync Transaction and click Update. Get the green banner that the room information has now been updated. And so now within your DocuSign room, I'll just hit refresh just to make sure it's up to date. But that information now travels over into your DocuSign room details tab as well, and will be updated within your information here. Okay. We'll go back now to our Documents tab, and this is where you want to make sure you have access to your forms, edit them, and send them for signature. Let's talk about how to get access to your forms. Most market centers are using Docusign now, and they will use something called Docusign Forms, where your forms actually integrate right into your Docusign account. We do have some agents in some states, like maybe California or Canadian agents, who actually get your forms from a third-party platform like Web Forms or Authentisign. So your process may be a little different, but out of the majority of market centers, I'm going to show you right now how to access and make sure you have access to your market center forms and your MLS forms. You would do this by going over here to the top right and clicking on your initials and going to Preferences. You would click on Integrations, and over here on the right-hand side under Providers, these are your DocuSign form settings, and this is where you want to make sure you can access your Market Center forms and MLS forms. To access your Market Center forms, you would click Add Provider and Continue to Company Forms Without Validation. Now it's gray on my screen right here because we've already previously linked it. But in your case, if you have not linked it yet or integrated them, that's the right word, it would be a blue link right here for you to click. Okay, go ahead and click that link. When you do, that window will close and you should see company forms listed right here. That means you have now integrated your Market Center forms, and in some cases, those forms do include your MLS forms as well if your Market Center is providing them this way. If you need to integrate your NERDS number, which is also called your NRDS or your M1 number, that is also a way to make sure you have access to all of your board forms. So you can click Add Provider, choose your board. They do have some specific ones on here. Most agents will just click on Realtor. You would enter your NERDS number right here at the top. If you're not sure what it is, you can always click the link to find your member ID right here, and it will go through steps to help you validate what your NERDS number is. You would enter your last name exactly as it is on your real estate license, down to the punctuation, spacing, everything. And at the bottom, you would use this drop-down menu to choose the board that you are a member of. Once you've done those three fields, you would click Validate, and hopefully you'll get an approval box that pops up at the top. This window will go away, and you would see that your NAR number or your NRDS number is linked right here under Providers, letting you know that you now have access to your MLS board forms. That's how you would integrate your forms into DocuSign. Okay. Some offices do use zip forms. If you do, you can integrate them right here at the top by clicking the blue arrow to the right, filling out these two fields, and then clicking Save. Okay. If for some reason you feel like you do not have access to all of your forms or something seems to be missing, this is what you would want to check first. But again, if we work with your market center, we'll be happy to do this on your behalf, save you some time. Okay. Now, that is how you integrate to find your forms and to make sure that your forms are linked to your DocuSign account. You do not have to do this for every opportunity. This is a one-time, you're first jumping into your DocuSign account. You just want to do this one time and make sure this is done. Okay, let's go back to our Rooms tab. We'll jump into our room that we had just created by clicking on it, and we'll go back to our Documents tab right here. All right, so now that we know we have our forms integrated into our DocuSign account and we've done it one and done, we're good to go. Now let's cover how to actually access those forms so that you can edit them and get them to your clients. You have an add button right over here to the right hand side. You would click Add. DocuSign forms are the ones that we just worked on integrating. These are going to be your Market Center and your MLS forms right here. We'll click that, and you should have a pop-up window that comes up. On the left-hand side at the bottom, you will see libraries. You'll see possibly your MLS library. Now we have a lot, so you probably will not see this many. You might have a few libraries or maybe just one. But if you scroll down, you may also see ones that are your Market Center. They would look something like this. Now, libraries contain all the documents that that Market Center actually provides you with. Same with your MLS library. When you click on it, you will see all the forms that that particular entity is offering you to use. At the top left, there's packets that they make. These will help you stay organized. They usually label them so that you know what they are for. It's just kind of a folder or a packet of documents that would be intended for a particular type of transaction, like traditional listing. So we'll click on that packet and it shows you the forms that you may need for that type of transaction. Just click on a couple of others here just to show you. So for this to be a condo, these are the documents you might use for a condo. Once you find either the right library or the right packet that you want to use, you can always come over here to the right. Also, by the way, you can use the search bar too. If you're not seeing the documents you want, you can start searching in the search bar and then start clicking on your packets until you find that little form that you're looking for, like so. Okay. So let's say we're going to go with our traditional listing packet today. If we see the form that we need to use, you can just simply click the checkbox beside it, and you can check more than one or even select all right here if you want. You do have a preview option to your right. If you're not sure that's the form that you want to use, you can always click the eyeball and it will give you a preview of that document just so you can see it. Don't be alarmed by the sample form. That will not be there once you start editing the form. It's just because you're seeing a preview. We'll go ahead and close our preview. Choose the documents that we want to use. You can choose more out of different packets. You don't have to add selected and come back in to get more documents. So you can swap back and forth if you want. But once you've selected all the forms that you want to select, hit Add Select. Gives you a green banner, and you can now see your forms here within your room. There are a couple of ways to view them. See how these are more in like card or tile view? Over here on the far right, you can choose to see them in list view if you prefer it, and it would list them this way. Okay. For today, I'm going to stay on the tile view. Okay. Now you have your forms in the room. These are the forms that you're going to use with this particular client. That's how you would access them from the DocuSign forms that your Market Center or your MLS provides. But what if you have a PDF on another device that you need to get in here to the room to be able to use it? You can come over here to add and choose to add from your computer. You can even add from like a Google Drive as well if you would like, just to add in a PDF. An easier way, especially if you're working on a desktop, is you can simply open your files. Let me grab my PDF here just a second. And I'm going to show you how to drag and drop right in to your room. So you can grab a PDF and just drag and drop it right here into your room. And there it is. So that's another way. And finally, you can email forms into your DocuSign rooms. Remember the inbox I mentioned to you earlier? if I click on the inbox right here, I will have an email address in the top left-hand corner. That is your DocuSign email. So from your business email or inbox, you can forward your forms, your PDFs, right here to this email address. They would arrive here in your DocuSign inbox, and then you can go through them and decide which room you want to put them in. Okay? It's just another alternative. Not sure you would use that much, but if you do, it's always here as a convenience for you. Okay? Now that we've seen all the different ways to get forms, let's talk about how to edit them. I'm going to go back to our Rooms tab. I'm going into our room by clicking on it, going to our Documents tab, and now let's talk about again how to edit these forms. If they are a DocuSign form, again, we clicked Add in DocuSign form from our MLS or from our Market Center, then they already have fields on them, and all I have to do is simply click on that particular document. It may take a moment to open, and wherever I see a field, I can simply click on the field. Let's see if we've got any more informational fields on this one. Nope, just on that first page. Let me scroll up. So I can simply put my cursor in that field and begin typing anything I need to do. Okay? It automatically populated anyway our contact information and our property information because we had that link to our opportunity. So it's going to save you time. But again, if there's other fields that you need to make changes to, you can simply go ahead and put your cursor in there and change the information however you would like to change it and edit it. Do know for the signatures and the initials, those will populate once we make an envelope to send to our clients, and I'm going to show you that in a minute. But for the text fields, they should already be pre-populated, and you can just put your cursor in and change them. When you're done making the edits that you want to make, you would simply click Save and Close. Now, if it's a PDF that you've either emailed in or you uploaded, drag and dropped it in, whatever, and you see this little red PDF symbol on it, then it's a flat PDF and there's no fields on it to edit. It's okay. When we make our envelope, we can add those fields in just a minute. So now that I've shown you how you can click on those DocuSign forms, the one that actually showed the blue background with the form word right here, when you click on each one and make the changes that you want to make and save and close them, now we can go ahead and make an envelope. It's a digital envelope. This is where we get our documents all squared away, get our signers entered on the envelope, and actually send it for signatures. So that's the next step. So we would simply choose the forms that we're going to send to our client, and you can do that by clicking the little checkbox in the top left-hand corner. For today, I'm going to keep it simple. Let me take that one off. Just going to uncheck. Well, it unchecked all of them for me. Let me just check those three for today. Notice that we had a menu populate right here as soon as I checked those documents. Briefly, some of the icons here that you will use most are going to be the trash can to delete. You have an archive button if you want to archive. You also have a print option right here if you want to print them off and have that paper copy. Okay. But the pen is the one that will allow you to create that digital envelope and start getting these really ready to send to your clients. So we're going to go ahead and click Create Envelope. It will ask who we're sending this to. These are the roles that are listed on the documents, and so we can choose which one is going to sign today. I'm going to choose two because I want to show you the difference in between the signers. So we'll go ahead and click Continue. taking its sweet time today. Just a second. I have to back out and let's try it again. Oh, nope, there it goes. Okay. So I got stuck in a circle there. All right. So now we're in our envelope, guys. Our documents are right here at the top. You can see the ones that I chose to add. If for any reason, maybe you forgot one, you can come up here and add another one in if you'd like. You can also drag and drop these into a different order if you want to. That's also an option. And you do have three dots on each one for some more options if you ever want to come in and look at those. Probably won't use them much. Just want you to know that function is there with those three dots, okay? And if I've chosen a document that I've now decided I don't need, I can always click the X at the top right and choose to delete it. It will take it right out of our envelope so we don't have to use it. The next section down is going to be our recipients. Now, I chose the roles already, like I showed you on your screen, and it auto-populated those particular information or their names and their emails right here. And I have the listing agent. I can choose what action they need to take, if they need to sign. Maybe they just need to receive a copy. Maybe I just need to have confirmation they actually viewed it, which is really good if you're sending signed docs back to another agent, right? And you want to have it timestamped so you know they when they actually laid eyes on it and accepted it. That's a good option. And so you have several options under there. Just make sure you choose which action you want that person to be able to take. If for some reason you added somebody in and you no longer want them, you can always click that delete button and it will remove them from this envelope. Let's talk about signing order right here. Now, you do not have to have a signing order set up. If you just want to blast this to everybody at the same time, you can uncheck signing order and it will send it to everybody at one time. But maybe you need the first person to sign and then the second person to receive the copy of the signed document. In that case, you can choose Set Sign Order and make sure these numbers are in the order that you want them to be. You do have some little dots right here on the left-hand side of the contact where you can drag and drop them into a different order if you want to. Just notice sometimes the signing order boxes change and you just might want to manually make sure that they're correct. Once you have your recipients here, go ahead and come on down to the bottom and you can choose what the email subject says and the email message says. You can just type in the information that you want it to say. You can also make it a custom email for each person. Maybe the first person you're sending it to is a client, and so you'd say something specifically to them about signing the documents, call you if they have questions. But then if the other recipient is the agent on the other side, you can obviously customize the message for them as well. Hey, just want to make sure that you received this. Please let me know. Once you've customized the subject and the message, you would click Next in the bottom right-hand corner. From here, this is where you get to make more changes to your forms, like for the forms that already had the pre-populated fields, right? Forms that are from our MLS and our Market Center. Maybe like this box right here that just says text and nothing is entered. Maybe now you want to add a date in there. So you can always come and do that and make those changes if you need to. Maybe you want to make sure there's a second initial right here, not just the ones that are already populated. You can add those. On the left-hand side, notice that this is our seller, right? He's in yellow. So any signature that I want to add, I can just drag and drop over and add those wherever I need them. For the initial, I can do the same. Just stick it wherever you want it to go. You can resize these a little, drag and drop with the corners. And over here on the right-hand side, some of your editing options will be available. Like for the initial we just added right here, it's checked as a required field. Maybe this is on like a property disclosure form and it's not necessarily a required field, it's just an optional field. You can just unclick required. And then if they choose that option, they can sign there, but they're not required to do so before completing the form. Then we can click the name of our client and move to the second recipient. This is who we had set up as the listing agent. And now notice that the blocks are blue. So we can drag over and drop a signature for that person and drop a date as well. You can also drop text boxes wherever you need them. You can size them, type in the message that you need. And when you click off the box, it will show you the size of the text and where it is. And you can continue to grab the corners and resize as you need to. Okay, now I've added a lot of extra boxes to this form just to demonstrate how to drag and drop those pieces of information where you need them on the form. But please see that, let me remove some of the ones that I was adding in. Right here, you can see that for that seller, it already had them populated. So you don't have to add them every time as long as you have those contacts linked to your opportunity and in your details page. It will know that that person is who is going to act as the seller on this document, and it will pre-populate their information and pre-populate their signature and date fields. Same for the listing agent. You can see it right here. And if for any reason you do need to add an additional signer, you can always begin typing in their information here. And as long as they're a recipient on this envelope, you would just choose their name out of the left-hand corner and drag and drop those fields as you need to. Okay. Once you've made any changes to these documents that you need to, then you can send them. What's on your screen now is that flat PDF that we uploaded, right? That doesn't have the pre-populated forms. This is definitely when you would come, drag and drop your boxes, add the signatures and the initials. You even have some radio buttons that you can add in um, and have them check or check off if you need them to. Okay. But once you're done adding those fields, over here in the bottom right hand corner are going to be your send options. You can click that drop down. You can choose to send now or send later. It's whatever you choose to do. We're actually going to come up here to actions and choose to save and close. That's how you would change or how you would save it just as a draft. So we're going to go ahead and save and close just for our demonstration today. So now we've covered how to get your forms, how to edit them, how to send them off for signatures. When you get them back, after your clients are done with their envelope, right here under documents, you will begin seeing signed copies of those forms. Now you need to get them back into your opportunity to get them submitted to your market center for compliance. Let's go back over to our command tab into our opportunities, and I'll show you how to do that. We'll click on our documents tab right here. Do notice now that we've already started that transaction in Docusign, we already have our Docusign room created. Now it changes to go to transaction, and that means it'll take you right to your Docusign room instead of just the start button. And now we're under our listed folder on the left-hand side. We see our forms that we need to submit for compliance. And we have a couple of ways to choose to submit these forms. I can attach files right from Docusign, right here. It says attach them from Docusign. So then I can put my cursor in the select box and it will show you some of the PDFs that you may have uploaded. But if you begin typing the name of a form and it's a signed document, it should show it as an option in that drop down for you to select it. So we'll just go ahead and select that PDF right here to show you what it'll look like when you choose one of your DocuSign forms. You'll get a green banner, the status changes to uploaded, and now you'll see that hyperlink for that form right here. And you do have some options over here on the right with the three dots. You can remove it if you need, if maybe if you added the wrong one, or you can even print them from right there as well. Another way to add forms is to come up here and attach from your computer. Now the field says drop your file here or browse your computer. So again, just like we had it earlier, I'll open my files on my computer and I'll just grab my PDF, drag and drop. Green banner that it worked. And now I see that second document right here. Once you have all your documents in the places that you want them to be added, you would come right here to the teal button that says Submit to MC. You would click Submit to MC, and that way all the forms just went over to your Market Center. They will review them. They may make notes, they may reject them, they may approve them. Either way, you'll be able to check the status, and you will also get notifications within your command account letting you know the status of those compliance checks. So basically, they'll let you know if they made notes, if they need something different, if they had questions, or if they approve them. You will rinse and repeat for each folder over here on the left, listed, when you go under contract, and when you close. And that's how DocuSign can help you get your signatures, and you can also make sure that you get them submitted to your Market Center for compliance to get paid. That is it for our class today, guys. If you have any questions and you're here with me live, please go ahead and drop those in the chat. I'll be happy to stay for a couple of minutes and help get those answered for you. If you're watching this back on recording, you can always reach out to us at support@scottleroymarketing.com and we'll be happy to help. Thanks for watching.